In a country battered by over 20 typhoons a year, where floods swallow homes and landslides bury dreams, there's something that never gets washed away: the Filipino smile. They lose their homes, they lose their crops, some even lose loved ones, but somehow they laugh, they rebuild, they sing karaoke, they cook meals on charcoal stoves surrounded by mud. They play basketball knee-deep in floodwater. They make jokes while waiting in line for relief goods. Why do they play in the floods? How do they rebuild with joy? And what makes their resilience so unique that the world can't help but watch in awe? This is the unbreakable spirit of Filipinos, and trust me, you won't look at life the same way after this. How? Why? What makes this nation over 110 million people so unshakably resilient? Welcome to a journey into the unbreakable spirit of Filipinos, where we'll uncover how they conquer typhoons, survive loss, and still manage to smile, play, and live like normal, something foreigners like me can't quite wrap our heads around. This is a story of resilience, community, and a unique way of life that's inspired the world. Stick with me for the next 2 hours, because you're about to see why Filipinos are truly one of a kind. The Philippines faces around 20 typhoons a year, some as deadly as Typhoon Haiyan in 2013, which claimed over 6,000 lives. Yet time and again, Filipinos rise above devastation with a spirit that defies logic. From historical storms to modern challenges, we'll explore real stories, cultural secrets, and the science behind their resilience, backed by data from Pagasa and interviews with locals. Why do they laugh in the face of disaster? How do they rebuild with such hope? Let's dive in. First, let's set the stage. The Philippines sits in the Pacific Ring of Fire and the Typhoon Belt, making it one of the most disaster-prone countries on Earth. According to Pagasa, the Philippines' Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Administration, an average of 20 typhoons hit annually, with 5 to 7 classified as destructive. Storms like Typhoon Ondoy in 2009 flooded Metro Manila, leaving thousands homeless, while Typhoon Yolanda in 2013 devastated Tacloban, destroying 90% of the city. Homes collapse, crops fail, and power outages last days or weeks. Yet, amidst this chaos, Filipinos don't just survive, they thrive. What's different about Filipinos? Foreigners often marvel at how they can joke during floods or play basketball in the storm's aftermath. It's not denial, it's a cultural superpower. Today, we'll break it down through 5 key sections: the historical roots of resilience, the role of community, the power of humor, the strength of faith, and the hope that drives rebuilding. Each section will feature real stories, cultural insights, and tips for understanding this incredible spirit. Let's start with history. Historical roots of Filipino resilience. To understand Filipino resilience, we need to go back centuries. The Philippines has faced natural disasters long before modern meteorology. Ancient Filipinos, like the Visayans and Tagalogs, built houses on stilts to combat floods, a practice still seen in rural areas. Spanish colonial records from the 1600s described communities rebuilding after storms, often with communal work called bayanihan, literally moving houses together. This spirit carried through major historical typhoons, like the 1881 Manila flood or Typhoon Angela in 1995, which killed over 900 people. Key points: pre-colonial adaptations, houses on stilts, early warning systems using wind and sea patterns. Bayanihan tradition, communities unite to rebuild, share resources, and support each other. Historical storms, 1881 Manila flood, 1995 Typhoon Angela, and 2013 Typhoon Haiyan shaped resilience. Cultural mindset, bahala na, leave it to fate, blends acceptance with action. Take a look at these houses, raised to avoid floods, a design passed down for generations. This isn't just architecture, it's survival. The concept of bayanihan is alive today. I met Mong Huan, a farmer from Samar who lost his home to Typhoon Yolanda but rebuilt with his neighbor's help. Filipinos also have a mindset called bahala na, a mix of faith and determination. It's not passive, it's about facing the unknown with courage. During Typhoon Ondoy, residents in Marikina used this mindset to rescue stranded families, even without government aid. Foreigners might see this as reckless optimism, but it's a survival tool honed over centuries. Let's move to the heart of resilience.
The power of community. Bayanihan in action. No one survives a typhoon alone, and Filipinos know this better than anyone. The concept of bayanihan isn't just history, it's a living tradition. During Typhoon Rolly in 2020, one of the strongest storms ever recorded, communities in Bicol organized rescue boats and shared food with strangers. In Metro Manila, during Typhoon Karina in 2024, social media exploded with posts of ordinary citizens delivering supplies to flooded areas. This sense of community is what foreigners often find astonishing. Look at this, volunteers packing rice and canned goods for flood victims. This is pakikisama, the Filipino value of togetherness. Foreigners might wonder why Filipinos share scarce resources during crises. It's because community is their strength. During Typhoon Haiyan, Tacloban residents formed human chains to pass supplies even as they grieved. This collective spirit turns despair into action. Next, let's explore how humor plays a role. Now here's where things get mind-blowing for outsiders. Picture this, floodwaters are knee-deep, and yet you see Filipino kids swimming and laughing. Social media is full of memes about typhoons, like joking about free car washes during floods. During Typhoon Ulysses in 2020, a viral video showed a man surfing on a makeshift board in Cagayan. This humor isn't denial, it's defiance. Filipinos use laughter to cope, and it's a cultural trait that sets them apart. Studies from the University of the Philippines show that humor reduces stress and fosters hope. During Typhoon Glenda in 2014, residents in Batangas held impromptu karaoke sessions in evacuation centers. Foreigners might see this as strange, but for Filipinos, laughter is survival. Let's see how faith ties into this. Faith is the backbone of Filipino resilience. With over 80% of Filipinos identifying as Catholic and many others following Christian or Muslim traditions, spirituality guides them through disasters. During Typhoon Haiyan, churches in Leyte became shelters, and prayer vigils united survivors. Even in Muslim-majority areas like Mindanao, faith in Allah inspires hope. This deep spirituality helps Filipinos face loss without fear. Foreigners might not understand how Filipinos can lose their loved ones yet still attend church with hope. It's because faith isn't just belief, it's action. During Typhoon Odette in 2021, Cebu residents rebuilt a chapel before their homes. This spiritual strength fuels their resilience. Now, let's look at how hope drives rebuilding. After the storm, Filipinos don't just survive, they rebuild with hope. Whether it's replanting rice fields after Typhoon Rolly or rebuilding schools after Typhoon Paeng in 2022, Filipinos look forward. This hope isn't blind optimism, it's rooted in a cultural belief in bukas na, tomorrow will be better. From government aid to grassroots efforts, they transform loss into opportunity. Foreigners might see a destroyed town and think it's the end, but Filipinos see a fresh start. After Typhoon Odette, Siargao's surfers rebuilt resorts, turning the island into a global destination again. This hope, paired with action, is why Filipinos thrive. Let's wrap this up. So why do Filipinos laugh, hope, and live normally after typhoons? It's their history of survival, their unbreakable community, their humor, their faith, and their relentless hope. Foreigners might not understand how you can lose your home yet joke about it, or rebuild without fear, But that's the Filipino spirit, a resilience that's both inspiring and humbling. From Tacloban to Manila, I've seen Filipinos turn tragedy to triumph. Their bayanihan teaches us community, their humor shows us courage, and their faith reminds us to hope. What can we learn? To face life's storms with a smile and a helping hand. Which story inspired you most? Drop it in the comments. If this video moved you, hit that like button, subscribe,